Welcome to a new vlog. Oh my gosh, so you can see from the b-roll and the footage, been a busy couple of days. Excuse the AC in the background, it's hot and I'm not turning it off, and also the lighting in here is not great, but you do what you can do. So wow, a lot of fun stuff, and then last night a storm rolled through. And I did not realize it was going to be that bad. I think everybody says that, right? But right now in the area that I live in, there's something like almost 30,000 people without lights. So I'm feeling #blessed that I have my lights and my AC because it's hot and humid. But we did have some damage on our property. You can see in the pictures. We don't have trees in our yard because my first husband, back in like 2005 and 2008, 2008, when Hurricanes Rita and Ike came through this area, we cut down a lot of the trees on the property. However, my neighbor has a bunch of big oak trees, and so that's where the damage to our property came from, was like the winds, which I don't think we had a tornado. I think we just had straight line winds. But it was enough to knock down a whole portion of our fence, and it like blew so hard that it splintered the post at the base, like where they were driven into the ground. It was blowing so hard that it peeled this heavy-duty rubber welcome mat off of my porch. And it pulled down my hummingbird feeder and one big set of wind chimes that I had, but it left 2 other sets of wind chimes, which I'm really glad, because those 2 other sets of wind chimes had like these pretty glass birds on them. So I'm really happy they didn't break, because they were gifts from past years. But anyway, I'm just like, I don't think we had a tornado. I think maybe we had just really high gusts, or maybe some straight line winds based on the amount of debris in the yard. It did bust the heck out of my husband's windshield. So that's an expense that we're gonna have to pay for a new windshield, because it's cheaper to pay out of pocket than to do on the deductible on that, because windshields aren't that expensive compared to the deductible for car insurance. Anyway, grown-up stuff. I was supposed to have book club this evening, but checking the outage maps, several of my book bitches don't have lights right now, and the restaurant we were going to go to also doesn't have lights. So I invited them to come over here because I do have lights, but I don't know if we're going to reschedule, so there's that. As far as reading, Friday, I didn't really get any reading done. I was having a good time with my friends. And then Saturday, I didn't read early in the day. I did reading when I got home after, like, because I couldn't sleep when we got home. Like, first of all, we got caught in the storm and we had to like pull over at one point because there was no visibility. But then we finally got home and we pulled in the driveway and we were like, what the what? Like, the fence was down, there was limbs everywhere. My cable line was like hanging real low across my driveway. And so I was like, huh. So yeah, I don't have any internet right now. And I checked it and they didn't even give an estimate. They were like, we're on it. We'll get to it when we get to it. So I couldn't sleep. So I just chilled out with the books. So the books that the physical book that I'm working on right now, and I mentioned this in a previous vlog, is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I'm not very far in. You can see I'm not very far in. I enjoy her writing, her style of writing, her way, the way she constructs her narrators. I do love it. She's also got a very good knack of like including personality, because like it's based on Greek myths, and so like if you've studied some of those in school, like you're aware of the basics. She includes more the personality traits and includes like some of the like she makes up the dialogue that goes in there, and she just does a really solid job of that. My problem with Circe, because the only other thing I've read from her is Circe. The problem that I had with Circe was not with the writing or really the story itself. It was the pacing, because it had like spots where it was a bit of a lull. So I'm not far enough in to know if that's going to be a problem with this book. So stay tuned. I don't know. So right now as I sit here, I'm like we've cleaned up a lot of stuff, and I'm just, I don't know what I'm doing right now. Like, I had a whole plan for things I wanted to do today, and I don't know if that plan's gonna stick. So anyway, I will stop this clip here and I will check in with you guys in a bit. Hey, so I left my my portable tripod in the car, so I'm having to hold the camera. So sorry about the shakiness of it. So Saturday night was the storm, and then Sunday, partway through the day, we had lost internet that night, but then partway through the day on Sunday, we lost our cell reception. I don't know if like part of the tower had been damaged or I don't know what happened, but so from Sunday, basically from Sunday afternoon until Monday afternoon, we had zero like reception or internet. And so because of that, I had like a social media fast. I wasn't able to get on most of my apps, or like I couldn't even text. Like my phone was on SOS mode. So like I could maybe make a call if it came to it, but not really. So I did not go to work on today. It's Monday night. I didn't go to work today because I wasn't sure like if it was a good idea for me to go, because I didn't know if there were lights and internet at work, because where I'm at, the storm hit pretty hard, but also I know that a lot of people between me and where my work is also didn't have lights and stuff. And without internet or lights, I can't work on my laptop. So that would have made work, impossible or whatever. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay home today and make sure everything's fine here. So we got our internet back this afternoon. So I am going to go to work tomorrow. So because I couldn't use basically anything as far as like my electronics go, I did organize my vlog footage on my laptop because I didn't need the internet to do that. And then I did a lot of reading. So the book that I concentrated on this weekend is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I had read about 20 something, maybe 25 pages prior to before the storm. Like I think on Friday afternoon, I think had started it, or Friday morning, or at some point I had started it. And so, I don't know if you can see here, I got quite a bit of reading done. So I've read, I think my bookmark is on page 146. So I read approximately 120 pages in the last 24 hours. Because late Saturday night after that storm, I couldn't go back to sleep. Like not back to sleep, but I couldn't go to sleep. So I stayed up later than I should have. And then Sunday, we went out into the yard and were picking up debris, and I had to make an appointment to get my husband's windshield replaced. And, like adulting things. And so, but then after that, I was able to just read. And so, that's what I did. My thoughts, since I'm almost halfway through. I think I'm at I think that many pages puts me like 40%. So, thoughts so far. I really like the flow of Madeline Miller's writing. I read Circe, and I gave Circe 4 stars, but it was more like a 3.5 star for me. And the problem that I had with Circe, and I think I've mentioned this before, was more along the lines of like pacing. So I have, so far I'm in the very beginning, so I haven't gotten to the parts where the pacing might be an issue. Because for Circe, it was like, once you got through the first third, that's where I started noticing the pacing issues. So that's not really something that I've noticed yet, but we'll see. I will say, it's a retelling, and it's the kind of retelling issue that I have with a lot of other retellings, in the sense of like, it's a retelling, and part of me is looking for the connection between what I'm reading and then what I know of the source material. The issue that I'm having so far with the source material, so your two main characters are Achilles and Patroclus. Patroclus is your narrator, right? And so everything's through him and like his view of it. And he is just, I wouldn't say obsessed, but he's just very wrapped up in Achilles, which tracks. But his view of Achilles, I wonder, or like the characterization of Achilles, I wonder if because when I was studying, like these myths, my understanding was that Achilles was a bit more of a braggadocio, that he was a bit more of like, I want these pleasures and I'm going to have them, and a little bit more like full of himself, and a bit more of like this temper where he would like kind of be a little more fitful, I guess. That is not the Achilles in this book. So I'm kind of about it. His characterization so far to me is a little bland. So we'll see. But I mean, they're still kind of young. As far as Patroclus in this book, he's sort of made to be like this really like kind of plain, ordinary, not so great kind of guy. And my understanding in the myth is that he was like a really good fighter, and that he really made himself like sort of, I don't know, respected when they get to the Trojan War. So they're not, where I'm at in the book, they're not to the Trojan War yet. It has come up. Messengers have come and said, hey, we need you guys. And so now I'm in the part where Achilles' mother has sort of meddled in that situation. So they haven't actually left to go to the Trojan War yet. And it's not a spoiler because, I mean, it's myth. So if you know anything about, like, the actual, like, basis of the story, then, like, none of that is a spoiler. Like, they're going to the Trojan War. Like, that's a known thing. Like, if you know anything about Achilles, you know he's at the Trojan War. So, whatever. It's the fine details that are like interesting and or questionable to me. So we'll see how it's playing out. Like, I'm not so far that we haven't gotten to some of the high emotional stuff, so we'll see. But so far I'm enjoying it. Like, it's been like, it was good to keep, like, it wasn't just that I had nothing better to do than to read, but I really wanted to read it. Like, and there's a lot of short, like, there's chapters, but then there's like short vignettes within the chapters. So that really kept me flowing through it. So anyway, so my plan is tomorrow I'm going to go to work. I'll be at work. It is what it is. And then get back to reading, maybe try to get back to like some normal stuff. Still have some stuff to do, like yard wise, but I don't think I will get to that tomorrow. That'll probably be like a Wednesday or Thursday Celeste problem. So anyway, but I wanted to check in. I'm good. We're fine. It was a little scary because it was like we couldn't talk to anyone. So we were really cut off, and you couldn't, like, so I didn't know like what was happening around me besides being able to see like worker trucks or hear people's chainsaws or whatever, with all that. So, and now that it's been a little bit of time, you know, and it's very hot here this week, we have like all these heat advisories. Like the heat, like the temperature is like, I think our highs this week are like 92, 93, 94, 95, like somewhere in the low to mid 90s. I think towards the end of the week we'll get to the high 90s, but then it's humid here because I'm in Southeast Texas. And so the Gulf of Mexico, the humidity, like we're in a pocket of humidity here. So our heat index is like 105. So what that means is like the temperature plus the humidity makes the heat outside feel like 105. And so you can see like the trees are starting to like, where they've broken, you can see the branches are dying. You can see it withered. So like the destruction of the storm is really more evident now because you're seeing all these like dried bits here and there and whatever. So anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'll stop this clip here and I will check in with you guys probably tomorrow. Hey, so it is Tuesday night. I had to think about what day it was. It's Tuesday night. I went to work today. That took up a big chunk of the day. I did do some reading during my lunch break, so that was nice. I got reading update. So I got about 50 more pages through the Song of Achilles, and I am now just over halfway done with it. My thoughts on it haven't really changed. I'm a little conflicted because there are aspects to it that I really am enjoying, and then there's other things that my brain is just like, but wait. And so I haven't really changed. I haven't really changed on that as far as some of the thoughts that I've already said. Yeah, so it's kind of trucking along. So my goal is to, since I got like 50 pages read, I think I have 100 and less than 200 pages to go. So I'm hoping that I can really like keep trucking through it and like really make some good progress on that. Tomorrow I have some things I need to take care of. I've been in this bad habit where I've been taking naps in the afternoon and into the evening, and that's like really kind of like jacking me up a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I also have some filming I need to do, so I guess I need to like do my makeup and do some filming, I guess, in between vlogs. I usually don't like to post like back-to-back vlogs because I don't know, I just don't want to. So anyway, that's it for the update. It's kind of like boring or whatever, but I don't really have any new book thoughts. I only got about 50 pages read, and so that's what's up with that. Hey, so I haven't posted an update, I don't know, yesterday, or I don't remember which day it was, but I haven't done a whole lot of reading. Still working on The Song of Achilles. I got distracted by Disney Dreamlight Valley. So there's that. And I also finished watching the new season of Never Have I Ever on Netflix with my husband. So there's that. So today is Saturday. No, today is Friday. And I had a hair appointment today, and you know, just doing a little like self-care type stuff. I thought that in this clip, since I didn't have anything to say as far as the book goes, that I would unbox my book of the month, and I would also unbox my Sanderson box. So so I'm a book of the month member, so there's that. And I enjoy it because I like the excitement of when they post the new like choices each month. So this is my June box. Oh, I can't get into it. And I gotta make sure I don't show you guys like my address. Although you're going to drive out to the woods to come get me, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so I thought I would show you guys. I'm sorry, I'm shaking the camera. I thought I would show you guys what I picked in my June Book of the Month box. So the main pick that I picked is The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. I chose this one because it is about about books or a library and there's some sort of like, it kind of gave me Inheritance vibes because it's like we got to figure out like this, they're trying to win. There's like a competition aspect to it. So anyway, this was my main pick for June. And I really like the cover. I think it's really pretty. So there's that. I also grabbed She Started It by Sean Gilbert. Oh, I messed up her name. Or his name. Her name. And this is a thriller, and I think it has like sort of like Mean Girl vibes. It's like these women are getting together, and there's like some sort of like thing that happened in the past, and it's got like friends, like female friendship or not, I don't know. So I was interested in that, and I always do well with like the thrillery picks. And then this one was an add-on that I was really excited to get, and it is The Whispers by Ashley Audrain. This is her second book. Her first book was The Push, which when I read The Push, there were aspects of it that I really liked, and there were aspects of it that I was like, I don't know about that. This gives me some of the vibes that were in The Push, because I think that it has to do with like, you know, something bad happened and then the fallout of that. Also, let's look at this cover. I feel like the cover is really pretty. And so I was interested enough. It's got like a Christmas vibe on the naked hardback, but I felt like it was like the push was interesting enough that I wanted to read her second book. Like I wanted to give this author another go round. And then they send out a bookmark each month. This month bookmark says, "Respectfully, leave me alone," which is a lot of me when I'm reading. Okay, so this is my like Dragon Steel box. So I don't know if you guys remember, or maybe you don't, I don't know, but it is the Secret Project #2, and there were different levels to the Kickstarter, and Brandon Sanderson like changed the publishing game. Let me tell you this. So these books are books that Brandon Sanderson wrote while he was like on lockdown. I can't get into this box. And this man, he's making us look bad. Like I was busy playing Animal Crossing and doing puzzles, and this man was writing like entire long freaking amazing books. So I am not, there were different levels of it to where you could get like the digital copy only, or you could get like the digital copy and the fancy hardbacks, and then there was like some that you could get like a box of like cool swag every month. I didn't get that one, but I did get the level of where I'm able to get like this box it's like quarterly or whatever. So when you open it up, inside you have this quote, and the quote says, "You may call this a silly story. It is. That does not depreciate its truthfulness. After all, I am frequently quite silly, but I am almost always truthful." By Wit. I don't know who that is because I haven't read the book. I've had the digital copy since it came out in January, February, March, April. I guess it came out like the beginning of April. So in this box, I have the character pen, which is from the Cosmere, and it's really cute. And this is Vasher, and I don't know him. But I will get to know him, I guess. Also, it has the spoiler card. So this is a spoiler card. I'm not really going to pay attention to that at the moment. It comes with this really nice bookmark with character art on it. And it's like double-sided. So you see like this side, this is kind of like a zoomed in side. And it's like plastic. Like it's heavy duty. And then I have also a sticker, which I think goes along. Look at this sticker. Is that not adorable? There we go. Is that not adorable? And I'm guessing it has to do with the book. And then the book itself is shrink wrapped. And in this box, make sure I got all my stuff out of it. Yeah. And in the bottom, it has like a thank you. Like in the bottom of the box, it's printed with a thank you. But this is the book. It is The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. Of course, it's Brandon Sanderson because it's part of the Year of Sanderson. I haven't read it. I've been reading a lot of other things because I wanted to like wait. This is, I think, a standalone, and it's a little bit more like sci-fi fantasy, I think. I could be wrong. The other one was, and it's not, none of this is spoilers because the other one came out in January, but it's Tress of the Emerald Sea. I did not open my box on camera. I guess I could grab it and open it on camera because I opened it, but I didn't like take it out. So this book, look at the foiling. This is one of those naked hardbacks. Like it doesn't have a dust jacket. This is just the book itself. And it's textured, which is really nice. And then this is what the back looks like. It doesn't have like sprayed edges, but whatever, that's okay. Look at the end papers though. Oh, the character art on these end pages are just beautiful. And it has illustrations throughout, which I think is lovely. And like, here's a list of like Brandon Sanderson's books and stuff. Holy crap. I've read quite a few, but maybe not all. And then some of this is like, there's some like blue text in some of it. And then it's like kind of a mixture. And you can see like, there's the acknowledgements at the beginning. And then I'll like show you like some of the illustrations. This is gonna be a joy to read. Like, I know, like, I feel really good. Oh, look, here's like the sticker art. You see the sticker art right there? I'm really looking forward to reading it, and this book is gorgeous. The paper quality is amazing. And let me show you one of the full page illustrations. The illustrations in this are insane. Look at that. Oh, lovely. And then the end pages have different character art. So, like on the back end page. Oh my God. So I'm really excited to get to this. It's so beautiful. And I love this stuff. I'm so glad that I jumped in on that Kickstarter for that. So that's all I got for you guys for this, because I need to read a little bit more of the Song of Achilles. I think where I am, just for like full transparency, where I am, I'm on page 215, which is the beginning of chapter 20. So I'm a little more, here's my bookmark. So I'm a little bit more than halfway. And I will actually, like, it reads really fast. I will actually probably tomorrow sit down and do like some reading sprints to try to make some more progress in this. But yeah, that's what's up with that. Tomorrow is Saturday, and I have general house things to do, and then in the evening we're going to be with people, like being social. And we have like a cast party, because remember, I don't know if you guys remember, like some of you might be new here, but I was in that play. We're having a cast party tomorrow night. So there's that. I don't know if I'll do footage. I took my camera to do footage earlier today, and I didn't do it. So anyway, so I will see you guys in the next clip. Hey, so I haven't filmed a clip in several days, but I mean, some of my reading was just sort of, I was like, I need to read this book. I want to finish this vlog and finish this book in this vlog. And I was caught up in work and I don't know, things like, I don't know. There were some days where I would read a fair chunk, you know, and then there were other days where I would only read like 10 pages or something like that. But where I stand, I'll show you guys. I am in the last 90 pages or so, give or take. And so my plan is to do some reading sprints today and hopefully finish the book, or just come really close to finishing the book so that I can like give my final thoughts and wrap up the vlog. Where I'm at in the book, I'm like right in front of the climax, like the big twist, the big event at the end, which I'm aware of what's happening because I know the myth. So I wonder, like, in that, if my review is going to be, well, I mean, the answer is yes, but if my review is going to be adjusted because of being aware of the myth, as opposed to people who have read it and didn't know what was going to happen. Like, I wonder how big of an impact that's going to be on my reading, or like someone who, not just me, but someone who knows the story, because it is a retelling, so it's not like an original story. And I'm sort of gelling my thoughts, my final thoughts, like, and sort of like starting to think of numbers of stars, like what rating am I going to give it. I'm a little conflicted because there are some parts, some aspects of it that I'm really like leaning towards like a higher star rating, but then there's some aspects of it that I'm not as pleased with, and that would move the star rating down a little. So I do have some like considering to do to like decide like how I'm gonna let that affect me. But it is really early on Friday, June the 23rd. So I don't have work today, so my plan is to relax and do as much reading as possible today. So hopefully by this evening I can either be done or be almost done and finish it up tomorrow, because I don't have incredible confidence that I can knock out the last 90 pages in a day. I just don't have that kind of attention span or reading speed. I just don't. Like, there's like plenty of other booktubers you can watch for that. So anyway, I'm just being real with you on that. So I'm going to stop this clip here, and I will hopefully see you with another clip later today that has some reading done. Maybe even my reading. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, so I finished the Song of Achilles late last night, so I want to finish up my thoughts and in the vlog. I gave it 3 stars. And like when I first started reading it, like the writing was great to me. Like it flowed well and it was poetic but not inaccessible. But as I kept reading it, I was more bothered because I'm not like I'm not well versed in like classical readings, like talking about like reading Homer and other ancient Greek writers, but I have had to read some of it, and or be educated on some of it in some of my classes and stuff. And so my star rating dropped as I proceeded because so my thoughts on a retelling, first off, is that you need to pay like respect, I guess, to what's canon, the original, right? And so there's like, I feel like basic things about that need to sort of stay consistent. And I just felt like there were too many deviations for me to be comfortable with. So first off, I don't think the characterization of either Patroclus or Achilles was, to me, accurate enough to what Homer said about them. In the Song of Achilles, Patroclus is characterized as sort of like this, I don't know, effeminate and kind of like loserish character. Like he's not very, I don't know, like he doesn't seem to have a lot of confidence in himself. And if you go back and look, and you could just do like a basic Google search, you don't have to read the whole Iliad to know that he was actually more of a badass. Like he was a trained warrior. Like he wasn't as good as Achilles because of course Achilles is a demigod, but he was not someone to sleep on. No pun intended. He was like seen as like a peer as far as like the Trojan War. So like that bothered me. And then Achilles himself, in the book, he's characterized more as like this soft, lovely man who is like sort of pulled between what his goddess mother wants, and what he really wants. And I just, that doesn't seem very accurate to me, because if you go back to what Homer says about him, he has like this like pride in himself. Like he's kind of more like braggadocio about it. I think I mentioned that in another clip. And he has like rage, like in different like parts of the Iliad, he rages out. And I just like, I feel like it's a very sanitized view of these two gentlemen in the Song of Achilles. And I don't, like, I guess I see why Madeline Miller did that, but I also don't get, like, I feel like they would be more complex and more interesting had some of those aspects of their characters from like the original myth and from what Homer said about them to like be carried through. The Greeks in general, like it was a thing to like get married, like have a marriage, have a wife, have children or whatever, run your kingdom, but you also, you know, had sex with dudes, especially when you were gone to war and whatever. And it was like not really a big deal. I don't think they necessarily talked about it a lot, but it happened, like enough that it's an understood thing amongst the Greeks. Like Homer kind of alludes to that or whatever. And Madeline Miller backs away from their bisexuality. Like it makes it seem like neither of them wants to have sex with women, and I just don't, in the original, I just don't think that was the case. I think they were totally fine with having sex with women, and each other. and I just, that, to me, that sort of speaks to the erasure of bisexuality, and I know that that is an issue, like, in the world. Like, that's an issue that I think people have spoken about, especially people who identify as bisexuals. I'm a cis, straight, white woman, so, like, I'm speaking as an outsider, I guess, looking in, but when I, like, reading the book as a whole and, like, looking at the romance between these two gentlemen, I see a lot of, especially, like, the love scenes and such, it's very beautiful and poetic, like, the love really communicates, but, like, the sexuality is just, it feels like gay men, or bisexual men, as they should be, written by a straight woman, and I don't know, I just don't know, because I try to read, I guess, more, like, own voices and things to get, like, a better sense of that. So I'm not, like, I think she did a great job. There's a lot of kudos, you can Google it up, there's a lot of kudos for this queer love story, but I don't know. I think that if it wasn't necessarily these specific characters with all the names and all the such, I think it would be a much more impactful story. But linking it to Achilles and Patroclus, I can't help but think of what I already knew about them. And also what flavored, I think, my star rating is I knew what was going to happen because I knew the myths. I know the stories that go along with the Trojan War. And so I think that affected my reading of it as opposed to someone who wasn't familiar with those myths. Like, they probably had more, like, there's more shock value in, like, what actually happens as things progress, because it comes as an unexpected thing, but I knew it was coming. I was watching it coming, and I think that maybe also has a big impact on my rating and my thoughts on it. So I wouldn't say not to read it. In fact, I would say, like, some people say, read the Iliad and then read this. I almost think if you really want to enjoy it and you're not aware of what happens in the Iliad, then don't look that stuff up and don't read it first. And you would probably enjoy the novel more. So, I don't know. I think I liked Circe better because it centered more around, like, the feminine. And there was no need to feminize Achilles or Patroclus. Like, I don't know. I don't think they needed to be feminized in order for their love story to be as huge as it is, like, in myth and, you know, and whatever. And so, yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. Like, I'm glad I read it. Like, I'm glad I finally read it, and I will probably read whatever else Madeline Miller puts out. But I'm not just gonna read something and go, oh, this is great, you know. Like, I'm kind of critical whenever I read things, and especially, like, aren't we all? Like, that's just part of how it is. So anyway, that's it for the vlog. I finished that book. Anyway, thanks for watching this. You watched this whole vlog. Let me know in the comments down below, like, if you've read this, what you think. Like, I tried to keep it, you know, kind of vague, but also as specific as I could in my thoughts. I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.